When I first started this course 3 years ago, I really had no idea what being a makeup artist meant. Coming in blind, I found, was scary, but somewhat beneficial in a way, as I didn't have any preconceived delusions of grandeur, and this allowed me to find areas that sparked true interest in me. And whilst I continue to be a bit of a jack of all trades, I feel very secure in the avenue I've started to take towards becoming an editorial fashion, hair and makeup artist. This whole project has been designed to act as a bit of a springboard from which to launch my career. To do this, I set myself 4 objectives that I wanted to meet throughout the project. The first objective was to research modern/historic cultural influences specific to chosen cities in order to formulate creative, holistic designs representative of the editorial fashion, hair and makeup sector, while showcasing my own creativity and design capabilities. Objective 2 was to advance upon technical skills within the editorial fashion sector, focusing on precision application, use of color, textures, and natural hairstyling. Objective 3 was to understand how a professional portfolio and website should be presented, with a focus on onward employment within the chosen sector. And the fourth and final objective was to showcase understanding of creative project management and organisation, focusing on ethical practice when working within a creative team. Keep these objectives in mind as we go through the video, as at various points I'll be pointing out evidence as to how I've met these goals. The world of fashion and editorial really stuck out to me as someone that has grown up surrounded by art of all form. Anything that provokes a reaction, either positive or negative, excites me. One of the main ways to ascertain what's happening out there, to find out what professionals are creating at the moment, is just to look at their work. Some of the professionals that jump to mind that really inspire me are my Kit co-founder James Malloy, whose precision application and eye for detail are second to none. Then there's Rosanna Vellin, whose use of colour is astoundingly beautiful and comes across as just effortless. And then there's Carla Powell, who essentially invented lip art as we know it today. And of course, you really don't get there without a lot of hard work. One of the main goals of this project was to focus on onward employment. To do that, I designed the project to be presented as a portfolio and an online website. The importance of an up-to-date portfolio is the range of skills it shows. This has really been noted as essential for any makeup artist, as it's a key way of getting your work out there, showing off to the world what you can do. Networking, essentially, it's how people see your abilities and decide whether or not they want to work with you a lot of the time. Carla Powell, I found, actually says that a professional website can be a very beneficial tool, as many prospective employers will research an artist prior to working with them. I looked at a lot of industry professionals' websites to see what they were doing, and I'm really happy with the result. I think it's a sleek, professional looking website. In doing this, I believe this is evidence for meeting objective number 3, which is on screen now. With any project that involves multiple people, ethical practice and safety are of highest concern. To ensure the project was fully ethical, model release forms were made for the models to consent to be involved in the project, and media release forms were made for the photographer that was involved in 2 of the shoots. This was just to ensure that I had full control and ownership of the photos for this project. And then with regards to safety, full safety risk assessments were taken out for all 4 shoots, as you're seeing now. This was to ensure that a plan was in place for any eventualities. Due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, full personal protective equipment was worn, and to ensure model safety and remove any risk to the makeup artist, all models were asked to sign an allergy form and a skin testing form prior to any application of products. This, of course, relates to Objective 4, giving full evidence that I created this project with ethics and safety firmly in mind. It was very important in the project for me to show my transferable skills, the things that are more general, that can be transferred to any industry. For example, my organisational ability has been firmly proven by my project schematic, as you're seeing here. This essentially outlined the entire process of the project from start to finish and acted as kind of a to-do list. On top of that, there are the shoot briefs that I gave to all of the participants of each photo shoot, which detailed all of the things they needed to know, what I expected of them, where to be when, etc. I've already briefly discussed the importance of networking. This was another important skill I wanted to portray, along with my communication ability. You know, I had to contact a lot of models. You're seeing some evidence of my communication on screen now. I put out casting calls as well when I was initially looking for models, which was successful, and again shows further examples of networking, as these are now people that I can go ahead and work with in the future. All of these things I've been talking about are important factors that go into project management, so I really think this gives further evidence to me meeting my 4th objective. Those are some of the transferable skills. However, technical skills, of course, are a very important part. These skills include precision makeup application, skincare, and the ability to work with varying skin tones and textures. I'll point these out specifically once the full images have been revealed. One of the key technical skills I wanted to portray was my creativity and its process. I wanted to trial products, I wanted to hone my skills. I adorned an old sun hat with coloured garden twine to make this beautiful focal piece for one of my looks. You know, I experimented with my own face to get much needed practice. All of this should give enough evidence for my creative process and my ability as a creative designer. When it comes to my influences and inspirations, the main concept for my series of shoots were some of the cities that I've had the pleasure to visit at certain points in my life. And looking at the cultural, social, and historical factors of each city, I was able to produce a series of 4 designs that to me are the embodiment of these cities. And I really think this gives evidence to me meeting my first objective, as early on in the process, I did quite a bit of research into the 4 cities. It acted as the ground from which the tree grew, essentially. My first city is Stockholm, Sweden. Stockholm is all about nature and the connection to the natural world. My design for this city was essentially a no makeup look, focusing on the model's natural beauty and skin texture, only enhancing what is already there. Originally, I wanted to go for the full Scandinavian look with a pale-skinned blonde female model, but as time went on and my designs developed, I felt it would show more skill to translate the ethos of this design onto a slightly different model than I originally thought, and I believe this look was a success. The clarity of the model's skin is exactly what I wanted, and it really represents Stockholm and the natural beauty that that city exudes. For Florence, I connected to the opulence of the buildings and fashions. Within the design, I wanted to capture this sense of opulence with soft contoured skin, metallic copper eye details and crystal adornments. The precision application of the contour and the placement of the crystals, I believe, show evidence for these technical skills. Overall, I'm happy with the look, though I did face some challenges on the day of the shoot, such as the studio lights not arriving in time, but in terms of makeup application, I am happy, and I do feel I've captured the air of glamour that Florence has. London. For this design, I really wanted to capture the sort of edgy sophistication that you find on the streets there, the powerful CEOs juxtaposed by the young creative powerhouses. The location we found gives for some really interesting composition. The jagged stairs and the structured bricks I find combined with the strong outfit really connect to the feeling that I was going for with this fashion-based shoot. And I think this look, more than any of my others, shows a strong connection to the fashion itself and my eye as a stylist and creative designer. And finally, Seattle, the Emerald City. If London is punk, then Seattle is definitely its grungy little cousin. A truly art-driven city, the community is one that unquestionably and unapologetically fights for minority rights. It was this, along with the fierce youthfulness, that I wanted to get across in the final shoot of the series, with a focus on the technical skills of precision application and use of colour, both of which I feel were successful. I used the fashion and posing to create a very striking image. The only criticism I have for myself is that the hair is not quite as textured as I would have liked it to be, but ultimately I feel the focal point of the headpiece is very effective, and I feel I got the point across while connecting to the fierce, artful youth of Seattle. I truly feel I've advanced on my technical skills, and overall this series of shoots gives strong evidence for my completion of my second objective. I'm confident in saying that I have met all of my objectives, and evidence for all of that has been shown throughout this video. However, as you can see on screen now, I did have an overarching aim which kind of encompassed all of the objectives. I believe I've met this aim, so let's break it down. I definitely worked within a creative team, as I had a photographer that worked with me on 2 of the shoots, and I had a model for each of the shoots as well. And working independently, as I shot 2 of the shoots myself. I can confirm that I created 4 looks. From each of these photo shoots, I chose 2 images to go into the portfolio. It's in my hand right now, and I've also created a lovely website to go along with that. And as we have already discussed, each of these looks have been designed and created based on particular cities around the world and their cultural/historical social influences. I've improved immensely as an artist, and I've come away with a beautiful portfolio, a gorgeous website. So yeah, after breaking it down, I would say that I've certainly met my aim and all 4 of my objectives. Overall, I'm very happy with the results of this project, and the last thing to say is thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope you liked my images. Make sure you watch this space, as there will be much more in the future. Thank you.